Okay. Hey y'all, welcome to the filling station. So I recently did a video on how to create this look, or to put, image on the inside of a wine glass and putting the clear epoxy on it. I didn't do the epoxy portion of it. It was just more or less designing the video. But after going back looking at her glass and knowing that her glass was a little bit different, I wanted to show you how, in hers, and this is the one that I did for her, and I still have yet to take the tape off of this, and that is important. So I wanted to show that portion of it also. But hers has just a V in the back without having the actual the glitter at the bottom here. So I wanted to show you that it's all based on how you put your tape on in the beginning to create this bottom look here. And I did mention the V. Her V is actually in the back. So in order to create this look here, your V will definitely need to be in the front. And let me see if I got some scissors, because we're going to need that. So in this video, I am going to show you just in this portion of it how to wrap, how to put your tape on so that we can get that V look and still have your glitter at the bottom of your glass and your epoxy, because we epoxy all of this portion down here. So again, in hers, we just did the V portion here. We went ahead and it's a whole nother video on that, but let's go to the wrapping of it first. I always say wrapping, y'all. I got to get my words together. I'm still working on that. So we're looking at this. It's just our wine glass now. So with that, we're going to start focusing. Remember, we always have to have something to, so that we can peel that off, right? So let's just say we're going to do half, put a little piece here. Our starting piece is not going to matter because it is glass. There's no right or wrong way to do it. So I'm going to just put me, cutting a little piece off down here. And that's just like so. So that's our starting piece. Now I'm going to go to my other side and do the exact same thing and have a starting piece. You're going to need a little bit more left over. Keep in mind, you need to get that leveled all the way down when you're doing it, because otherwise you're going to have a portion of it to stick up and it's not going to be even, a straight flush or straight line. So there's our V. As you can see here, there is our V. Again, her V is in the back. Her V is in the back side of it. Today, I'm going to show you how to make that V on the front as we did here and on here, which gives you a full cover on the back side, and it's so many different ways, y'all, that we can create this, and I just love it because we can just make it the way we want to make it. Again, you want to keep that V portion of it straight as possible. So if you put it on, like I just put this one on, and it wasn't as straight as I wanted it to be, I lifted my tape up and I put it back on in a straight way. So that's exactly how you want it, right? So I just need to cut that off and make sure that I have a V. And as you can see, there is my V point here. That is going to be my center point. I need to be mindful of that if it is just like this one here. And again, you want that to be as straight as you possibly can. But God, listen, we're creating. And if that's how you see it, however you want it, you do it however, whatever works best for you, right? So again, I got issues. I'm going to fix that again because I still see, and I took it off and I'm just opening it up just a little bit just to give my line a very clear center point. So what I did was lift it up here only to move it just a little bit. Keep in mind, you're going to need that little peel off part because we are putting epoxy on this, and I got it right. I didn't say the Mod Podge today. So there is our center V, and that is always helpful. So now what I need to do now is take some of my electrical tape, because that is very, very helpful, and I'm going to put it towards the bottom here. And I'm going to leave a little bit because, again, y'all know we're going to need some to help us get off. So I'm going to fold that in some. So when I peel this off, it's going to help me, right? So this is going to be my peel off so it doesn't stick. When the epoxy goes on, it's not going to stick so much. And it doesn't necessarily, kind of like a tab. And it doesn't have to be that long. And these are not my good scissors, let me say that. But it doesn't have to be that long. But you're going to need a tab to peel it off because it is going to have epoxy on it, right? So now, being that we've done that, my design is actually going in this area here. Notice that tape on the inside, and if that's too much tape for you, y'all, whatever works best for you, clip it, make it small. Either way, you're going to need a tab to go in and peel this off at some point. Just keep that in mind, right? So as of now, between this line here and this line here is your actual design space as we did here. So your logo or design or whatever that you want to put in it, you can actually measure from this side to this side, or if you're going here from this side to this side, this is your design space, what you can actually, you know, put your design at, right? So now, if you could go back and watch the video that we did, you know, with the first layer, you know, putting your design down, however you choose to do that. And I have a little small one here that I cut out that was much, much smaller than what I wanted to use. Keep in mind, you will do that in reverse order because we're looking at it from a mirrored image. So when we put it on, it's going to look like it's not right, but it is right. You're doing it in mirror image. So we're going to put that design down. And then once we put it down, we put the Mod Podge on top of whatever our first see-through cover. And I encourage you to go back and watch that video on, you know, how we layered it and how we designed it. But again, in this video, I wanted to show you that if you want that V design, which is here, and having a little bit more coverage on the back side or over your cup, or putting a little bit more coverage, just keep in mind, you know, you will definitely have to set that in the beginning. Otherwise, it will not work. It will not give you the desired look. So this is how your glass would look before you put any type of anything on it. You will have the V here, and then you will have, you know, a bottom portion. So you're going to put glitter all of this place here. All of this down here will have glitter. And it's super, super creative. With hers, when I first made hers did not have that. So I made it kind of like made it the exact same way as it was before the other one got broken. So I wanted to replace that. So yeah, y'all, I hope this is very, very helpful. Keep in mind, it's how you design it in the beginning, because it's going to be hard to go back and if you want to use a little thin layer, you can make these lines a little bit thinner if you don't want that big, deep V type thing. But I thought it was rather cute, or rather, you know, creative to see it at the very bottom of your glass, or, you know, however you see it. And keep in mind, y'all, I didn't put glitter at the bottom of this, but once you get it, you know, you could have very well glittered all of this and had a whole, you know, design with glitter and epoxy. Keep in mind, the epoxy is for the sealing portion of it. So now I'm going to go and let's see if we can get this off. Yes, and because I am putting it on the turner for epoxy, I am taking this off so that I can put on a new layer of electrical tape, and that tape is going to help me with getting that line that is not so hard or harsh, you know, with glitter, because sometimes it can leave a little hard line here. We're going to move that line so it's a smooth finish, just like the rest of our glass is a smooth finish. So that's what I like about these. Now, so let's keep in mind, if you were like me on, you know, I let it sit for a while and I didn't get to actually take the tape off of it, as I often do. Let me say that, yes, I do so many different things, and sometimes we get busy in life, right? So I'm going to try to lift this up, and when I take it off, remember, we're going to need that starting point. This is a great example of making sure you have enough to peel off to give you that starting point to help us with the peeling off portion of it. Now, keep in mind, because we use Mod Podge, I messed it up again. Because we use the Mod Podge, it could very well tear, so we have to peel it at an angle, and we have to be very, very careful at that, right? So as of now, I'm going to pull my first piece here. I'm going to pull it, and I'm going to be very careful with it because, again, I did not take it off on yesterday. So I need to be careful with this. And keep in mind, y'all, we can fix this with the X-Acto knife, right? So my first peel left a little corner right here, but I can fix that with my X-Acto knife, and I can show you exactly how to do that. So now that we have a starting point, I'm going to try to pull as much as I can. The mistake that I made was not taking it off on yesterday, but as you can see, there's still a way to go and get that off. So my encouragement to you is to get it off, pull it at an angle, and get it down. There we are. We need to fix that right there. Pull it at an angle so that it is not lifting up your design or messing up your design. And, you know, that's the glitter that we used on yesterday. And I encourage you to always have, you know, have some type of, I got to be very careful right there. So I used my fingernail at the time because I didn't have my X-Acto knife in my hand, but as you can see, I stopped it from ripping right there. That was my place that I can take my X-Acto knife and go back and clean that line up. Let me tell you that having that X-Acto knife is very, very, very important. And y'all see I have little handy tools right here at all times, especially when you're creating things. And this extra fallout here is just from when we were creating it on yesterday. It was not something that we sealed down or anything like that. So that's something to be mindful of. So one of the other things that you can do is just be careful. If you've got that straight edge or that straight hand, you could very well use your X-Acto knife to help you with taking that off. So we just have to be careful at this point in the pulling off of. I love it though, y'all. I'm super excited at how it turned out. I'm going to go back and straighten that line right there up. But I just wanted to show you that even though you make a mistake, you know what, like yesterday I did. I think I got distracted doing something else and completely forgot about Dee Dee. You just did a video and you need to take that off. So I encourage you to take the tape off as soon as you get to a drying place and know that it is dry. Just keep in mind, there we are. There is a place right there that I need to go back and just straighten it up just a little bit. Just tighten it up just a little bit because it's not a bad place, right? You don't want to lift up everything that you put down. So again, this is my starting point right here. I need to make sure that that first starting peel is going to be a good, it's going to be okay to where I can peel it without actually peeling up my whole design. And this is very helpful, again, having that X-Acto knife for this. So again, there's my first peel here. And you will need to make sure that you see that white portion of the of the glue, if you don't move that or remove that, it will be on your design. So I will definitely clean that up. Again, there's a lot of stuff that I normally go back. Well, normally I finish it and not have to go back to it again like I'm doing now, but it's okay. Something came up. So I am holding it at the top and I am peeling at an angle, as you can see here, peeling at an angle just to make sure that I have a clean line here, a straight line, a clear line, straight line. There we are. I just love this, y'all. I do. So hers has this little V in the back, and again, having your glitter transfers really, really quick. So yesterday I put the circle around it, not realizing, Dee Dee, you're making this a little bit different, from the one that she had. So I wanted to make it the way that she had it. So I wanted to make sure that I explained how to go back and put your tape around it to get that bottom portion on it. Nothing changes outside of how it's done in the beginning. So this is how hers will look for right now. What I will probably do is go back and put a trim on hers. And let's see, I'm going to show you how to take this X-Acto knife and just clean up those edges just a little bit. And it's not hard to do. It's just making sure you have a clean cut line right there. Clean cut, that's what we're looking for. And waiting, if we would have peeled it off right then yesterday, it would have been a lot easier, which it wasn't really hard now. It would have been a lot easier, but again, sometimes things happen. If you're like me, I'm doing a million things at once, and and it happens. Life happens, y'all. So there we are. I am okay. I am very well pleased at how this turned out. And keep in mind, we can always go back and do a touch-up. And when I say a touch-up, say for instance you messed it up and you forgot to peel it off like I did, or you forgot, some of it came off yesterday when you were working, or not yesterday, some of it came off, right? So what we can do to correct that is take some more of our tape, which we're gonna do here, right? And try to line it back up the exact same way that you had it here. And let's see if we can do that just on camera really quick, just so that I can show you. Y'all, it will drive me crazy seeing all of this glitter here like this. So I'm gonna try my absolute best to move it out of the way. That's not always possible, but I tell you, I really have issues. But working with glitter can be very, very challenging. Let's say that. So let's say by chance, you saw you have a major mistake. I've got to fix that, right? So I would take some more of my electrical tape and I would put it in that place of redesigning it basically. So we are taking it here and we're trying to get it as close as we possibly can, because this is exactly how you're going to have to do it when it's time to put the epoxy on it. And keep in mind, you definitely want to take that first layer of tape off before you add the epoxy. You do not want to put this portion of it on if you're going to add epoxy, because it will be, you see how I had to go in and clean up my line because I left it on a little bit longer than I should. Now you would definitely need to go and clean that off before you do the epoxy, otherwise it will just be a hot mess. Let me say that. So here I am here. This is how I would actually put it on the turner with the epoxy. Now, can you go back, say for instance your lines are not as sharp as you want them to be, and add another layer of glitter to this? You absolutely you can. You can. So I would tape it off here and go back to the other side here and add another line of the exact same way. And this is just going to help me to get, you know, I want a little bit more control over my glitter if I was to add that, or my epoxy if I was to add that, right? So I'm going to go and get as close as I can to this line without actually touching the line. And I still see a little area that I need to go back and kind of clean up just a little bit. Y'all, I got issues. When I see it, I got to get it. Anybody else like that? When you see it, you just got to get it, right? So I am now trying to overlap these to make sure that this portion of it is right. All right, so now electrical tape is what I'm using to make sure that, and as you can see, I'm very close to that line, and on this side, I'm very close to that line. I don't want to be on the line, and that's gonna help, y'all. I'm gonna go back over with this one because I am a little bit closer to the line. What I don't want to do is be exactly on the line at this point, because keep in mind, I'm getting ready to put this on the turner with epoxy. I want it to be a smooth finish, and if I did it right there at that line, I'm actually gonna leave a hump, a lump, or a whole bunch of glitter pile up, you know, I don't want that. So I'm gonna get it as close as I can with leaving just a little bit, not a whole lot, but just a little bit of, you know, space, like it's not quite lined up, right? And that's okay. See how, you know, I don't know if you can see this here on camera, but there is a line, you know, that I have left a little bit of white space, a little bit of clear space that I can see. And it's only going to help me when it's time for me to put my epoxy on this. And keep in mind, y'all, there are other ways, let me say that, there are other ways by chance you don't get the line exactly how you want it. You know, I've used this tape, and I always get the name of it wrong on every level of wrong, let me say that. But there's some tape that you can use for that. And yes, this is called the paper. It's by the paper, but it's like a little strip of tape. So say for instance, you know, you wanted to use the rose gold or a lighter color or so many different designs. There's so many different designs or things that we can add to this to form those lines that we could actually put, you know, epoxy on to help us in that area. Y'all, there's so many ways and so many places that, you know, so many ways to design. But again, I wanted to show you in this video how to go back and create this V look in the front, and this is now ready for the epoxy portion of it. And again, I saw a place here that I wanted to tighten up just a little bit, but I can take that with the X-Acto knife, or I can just push it in. And as you can see, I'm just taking this knife and I'm just giving myself a much cleaner edge. I'm taking off anything that will just take away from my clean edge, and I remove that. And and if it doesn't bother you, if you're okay with it just that quick, I just cut the side of it. Now I did see a place on the top, that's where it was here on the top, that I wanted to fix, only because it's going to give me that white look, and my glass at this point is pink, so I don't want that white look. So I'm going to take my X-Acto knife here, and I'm going to, you know, get it as close as I possibly can to make sure that that portion of it is off. And we are done. Yes, I'm loving this, y'all. So making sure, you know, paying attention to detail, making sure that, you know, we have those places that, and we're okay with it. Hear what I'm saying? Make sure that you are okay with every place, every design, every line, because once we put that epoxy on it, we cannot go back and change it. I need to say that again. once we add the epoxy, we cannot go back and fix it or change it or any of the above. So I do see an area here that I'm going to try to see if I can straighten it up just a little bit down at my V. And I'm okay with it if it's not just perfect, because again, with this one, I may just go back and add that a line of something just because hers, it is almost like it was, but kind of, yeah, it is. All right, so this is our look now. You know, with it is now ready for the epoxy stage for us now, because we now have, and keep in mind, y'all, again, if you want to go back, say for instance, make sure if you find a place that you want to go back and add some more glitter, this is the stage that you will do that. It is not too late to add another back coat of glitter to straighten up a line or to fix a line. In my opinion, if you don't want to do that, you can always use the tape. It's always helpful. Keep that in mind. So again, y'all, hope these videos are very, very helpful. I am super, super excited. But after reviewing the video, I was like, wait a minute, that is not, you know, that is a little bit different from, you know, the look that we did in the beginning, which is okay. So a recap of what we did today is I showed you how to wrap this glass in the V shape and to get your glitter down at the bottom here. Please check out the other video if you would like to see how we did the background image and how we did the white and then how we did the pink. It is really, really easy. Now, at some point, I will try to do another video as to how to put this on the turner for epoxy. So if you use epoxy, it is super, super simple. You'll go ahead and mix your epoxy up, put it on in the areas where your tape is, all of the areas where you have the tape, which is here. Let it spin for, I would say, about 30 minutes, 30, 45 minutes, let it spin, and then you're gonna go and take your tape off, peel it at an angle, let it dry, completely dry before you touch it again, and then you're going to repeat the process only to give it a little bit more space as you did when we did this one here. You want to give it just a little bit more space, and by doing so, it's going to give you a smooth line or a smoother line instead of having that harsh line with, you know, glitter that comes with glitter. Let me say it that way. So yeah, y'all, again, I hope this video is very, very helpful. If you could, please like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff, because we learn and we grow together, y'all. I enjoy making things. Did I say welcome to the filling station? I enjoy making things and creating things, and I'm super, super excited. I call it therapy. It's therapy for me. So until next time, y'all, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others.